Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In this video, I want to talk to you about OpenEden, which I think should be heavily considered for your next airdrop farm opportunity. Now, before we get into it, as always, just remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Please do your own research. I'm just a guy on YouTube. And also, make sure you follow me on all socials. So, OpenEden is currently doing a Bills points campaign, which I will cover at the end of this video. Before that, I'm going to give you a bit of background on OpenEden. Obviously, if you want to fast forward, I will put the chapter down below so you can fast forward to the farming piece. But let me sort of talk to you about why I'm interested. So this is sort of an RWA tokenization thing, sort of redefining finance. And for those of you who have used Tether in the past, one of the things that was heavily talked about was, is Tether really backed up? And it was a lot of like, hey, just trust me, bro, it's backed up. But if you've seen videos from CoffeeZilla and many others, it has always given me a bit of hesitation just because you just don't know. And when you have money, you want to make sure that when you're bringing that money on chain, you get that IOU, that it's backed by something. So this is actually what OpenEden does very well. I'm going to share that in a second. If you want to learn more, by the way, after this video, make sure you follow Jeremy NG on Twitter, and also make sure you follow their OpenEden account as well. Now, OpenEden has two products. They have the T-bill and the USDO, right, for OpenEden. Let's start with USDO. Now, this is their open dollar. So couple things. I talked a bit about the transparency piece. Another was the native yield, right? You probably heard about Circle and Tether. They are more than happy to take your money, mint a stable coin for you on chain, but you don't get any of those yields, right? The yields from all that cash, all those treasury sitting there, you don't get a piece of it. They do, and they say thank you, but you're not seeing a piece of it. When you have USDO, you actually, as the owner of USDO, are earning native yield. It's also regulated and sort of, they have some information here. I don't really know all the technical details, but that's also sort of very good. Now, obviously, you can go down here and see sort of a bit more information about the tokens. One thing I will mention is there are two forms of the USDO or open dollar. The first is fixed at $1. This is the native USDO. Then CUSDO, where the C stands for compound. This is where that sort of rebasing, that yield continues to accumulate. So there's both of them, just so you're aware of exactly what this is. Now, what is very interesting is if you were to go and click view reserves, right, you can see here that you have 281.5 million USD in circulation. And that's open dollar. And then you also have a little more than that in reserve, showing you that all their tokens are pegged at 1-to-1 to the US dollar and backed by tokenized treasuries. Now, this is really interesting. I didn't realize this until I was on their website. But if you click check reserves, real time, you can see the proof of reserves through Chainlink to actually see that what they're saying is true. So it's right here, and you can always access this. That is pretty cool. Okay. Now, there's also sort of the T-bills, right? So this is sort of that, if you've heard about T-bills from like, when you invest with the government, they're meant to be sort of the safest types of investment. Well, you can access T-bills as well on their platform. It's a little bit expensive. Basically, you do get like a 4.11% weekly yield, but you do need a minimum deposit of 100,000. I think this is going to be out of the price range for most of the people sort of on here, but I did want you to be aware of this product. And once again, for OpenEden, it's not just about trusting, but it's about verifying. So they have a full commitment to transparency, and I think it's really cool. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, fantastic, Brown Gent, how do I get involved? How do I get a piece? How do I get involved in their future airdrop program? Well, as I mentioned, they have that Bills campaign going on. So I'm going to put the link down below. It is going to give you a 5% boost on your earned bills. Also gives me a 5% boost if you use my code. And basically, there are tons of different options to pick from, right? There are 31 different opportunities. And if you go to the left here, you can see what chains they're on. Majority of them are on Ethereum mainnet. Let me show you the number one thing that I sort of selected, and then sort of a second one you can choose to do as well. Obviously, at the end of the day, you do whatever you feel comfortable with, because remember, whenever you're on chain, there's always the potential of smart contract risk. So what we do is we zoom out here, and we really want to check out the bills multiplier. You can see here, holding USD or CUSDO, right? Holding USDO or CUSDO will get you a 1x multiplier. Nice. You get the nice APY, right? About 3.9% for the year. But we're trying to farm, and we're trying to sort of make money from this potential airdrop, right? So what we'll do here is let's go to where we see bigger numbers. Obviously, we also want to make sure that it's safe. So I prefer to use this one right here. This is supply liquidity pool for the CUSDO USDC on Curve. It is on Ethereum mainnet. All you have to do, by the way, to access this is you click on this arrow right here. So all of these are links to the external platform. I've already opened it up. What you can do, and sort of why I like this, is especially when the market starts running like it has, you don't want to just be sitting on stable coins that you potentially might want to just jump into your tops. So might as well bridge this over to Ethereum mainnet like I did. You can then go in here and you can do a single-sided deposit. So I went and put in USDC, and I put in, like, I forget how much I put in, but basically if I go to withdraw, you can see I have 15,461 in this. So you can go and deposit one-sided, 1,000, 5,000, 10, whatever you want. And then you basically submit, and then you can sort of see that. And because of the way this platform works, all you have got to do is come back here, and you can see how much bills you're earning, okay? So like I said, there are other options. Some people have chosen to use Balancer. I like Curve. Doesn't matter. You pick whatever's best for you. Also, some people are choosing to go crazy with YT. If you remember, like, sort of how Pendle and all that works, you probably remember I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I did get into a LP/YT position on Spectra. The LP gets me a 5x and the YT gets me a 15x. Probably like, Brown Jen, but why are you doing YT? Let me show you. So once again, we click this button over here on the right, and it opens up Spectra. And what you do over here is you can literally add whatever token you want in your wallet that shows up here. So in this case, I can add Ethereum. Let me just sort of zoom in so it shows up for you. I can add Ethereum, right? You can see that. And if I put 0.05 in here, it will automatically compute the amount of LP, which is $126, and then $2.19 in YT. So the LP will be making the yield. The YT will also be sort of going overdrive and helping me earn even more bill points. And that's pretty much it. All you got to do is hit add liquidity. Right now, I currently have 3,802 in this pool. So it's just another example. Like I said, I shared with you the things that I like to do here. Given the fact that these pools are sort of ending, you have to check the timing. So this Spectra ends on July 15th. The one that I did ends on the 20th of November, which also indicates to us that likely you still have time to earn your bills, right? So this is still going on. Could be a season 2. I hope not. I mean, some people probably hope it is just so they can get their airdrop or whatever. I really think it's a fantastic opportunity. This is very much in line with sort of the same approach I took with Huma Finance, and that worked out very well. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed learning more about OpenEden. Let me know in future videos, do you want me to cover the protocol in more detail that we're farming as well? Because I will do that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, see you later.